Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all keeping well. Thanks for all your support over the last few videos. My subscribers have grown, which is great. I'm loving seeing more people joining in and hopefully enjoying some of our crafty makes. So today I've got a good one for you. I think it's a good one because I'm going to make a few of these. These are little treat pouches. Now I got the idea of this from a lady called on the internet called Stamping with Nellie. I've adapted the sizes on this to fit what I want to do, and I've changed the papers and everything, but yes, it's her original idea with some adaptations from me. So what it is it's a little treat pouch that includes let me move these out of the way. I've done a hot chocolate, a chocolate bar, and these crispy galaxy flutes. And with that, Stamping with Nellie also put a little spoon in, and she told you where to get these from, so I've researched them, and you can get these from Amazon, but you can also get them from Temu as well. It's about £3.99 for 8 of them, which is really good value, and I think on Temu they're even less. You get a little let me see there, you get a little, oops, where are we, oops, a little star, a stocking. That one is the little gingerbread man, and you also get, where is he, you get a snowman too. Better if I put them down, aren't I, really? So that's the choices. So what I'm going to do is make mine up now and show you. So I wanted something that you could put these items in and present them in a nice way, and that they'd be great for neighbours. I've got a couple of older neighbours that we don't really give presents to, but I like to give them something, so I thought this will be great for them. It's nice and festive. Also for you, like your hairdresser or things like that, that you want to give a little something to, but not a huge present. But you can also make these bigger by, at the back, either adding a little pocket or in here tucking a gift card. So it's entirely up to you how big a present you want to make them. I've decorated mine with, you would have seen in a previous haul video, I got this off eBay. An eBay seller was selling quite a few of these 25 and Peppermint products, so I've used this pad. And if you've got an 8x8 pad, or even if you've got bigger papers, you can make it with them. It's very limited supplies that you need, but you can really go to town on the decorating. This one has used the little elements from the ephemera, little gingerbread lady, and hot chocolate poinsettias. There's my spoon there. And I added into mine a gift tag at the back from the collection, so that I can put that it's from me. Same on this one. I added some little snowball lace out my stash. I've had that for absolutely ages, never used it, so it was perfect for this. Lace from my stash, again, a little matching gift card tucked in there, and my ribbon. So let me show you how to make them. Look at my tiny instructions today, not a huge big piece of paper. So all you need to start with, let me get the bits out of the way, is a piece of 8x8 inch paper. So I've got mine here. I'm going to do mine this way on this one, I think. So 8x8 inch paper, and it's all done on the diagonal on this one. So let me get it so you can see it. So on my scoreboard, because this is 8x8 inch, I'm doing everything from this 4-inch line. So you can either put a little bit of pen down this line if you want to, or just know where your 4-inch line is, top and bottom. And all you want to do is line up your 2 points. So I know you can't see the bottom of this, but I am lined up at the bottom. And on our notes here, you want to diagonally score at 2 1/4 and 5 3/4. So you line up your paper and you find your 2 1/4 inch line. Come down there and score that one. And then you want your 5 3/4. Can you see that there? 5 3/4 mark. Find that and score down there. It's as simple as that. Once you've done that, you want to move your piece of paper aside and decide what you want to be at the top of your paper pad. I'm going to have that little bit there at the top of your paper pad, at the top of your pouch. Your bottom end here, you then need to measure, this is what I've put at the bottom here, from the bottom corner, mark at 5 1/4 in both directions and score in between. So from this, you need to score 5 1/4, mark 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. So I'm going to do that now and show you what I mean. So there's my bottom corner. I'm going to get my ruler on there. Let's find my inches. There's the corner there. And I'm just going to make a mark at 5 1/4. And then from this corner, bottom corner again, I'm going to go the opposite direction and make a mark here at 5 1/4. And then between those two lines, you can either make a pencil line, but it really doesn't require that. All you need to do is pop it on your scoreboard. There is my first, I'm going to use this 4-inch line again, just to something to mark from, and my second 5 1/4 mark, and I'm just going to score in between like so. So can you see those lines, I wonder? If I bend them a little bit, then you can see. So I've got my 2 score lines here, and I've got 1 going across. So now all you need to do is where that line meets these lines here, you just need to cut up to that line. So let's get rid of the scoreboard now, because that's all the scoring done. So where that line is there, to that point, you just need to cut up to meet that point. And the same on this other side here. So you've got this going on. Now, like with box making, you don't want this to catch, so you cut out a little slither. So I'm going to do the same on this. I'm going to cut out that slither to that point there, get rid of that piece, and I'm going to cut out a little slither on this side also. Nothing too technical, just 2 little bits there cut out. Then you've got these 2 triangles left here. I'll just fold those so that you can see. It's 2 triangles on either side. Now you want to make those into a smaller triangle by trimming up to the intersect point. So I'm cutting away that piece. Same on this side, you've got this triangle here. Make it to a smaller triangle by cutting straight up to that intersect point like that. And that's what you're left with, like a large arrow. Then I've got my punch and a corner round it, and I'm going to corner round these outer edges, the 2 sides and the top. You don't have to do this at all. You could use a fancy punch if you wanted to, or just leave them as they are. That's where I've got that. So then you need to decide which way round you want your paper to be. I do like those little gingerbread men. This is very cute, isn't it? Undecided now. I'm going to go with this way, I think, because I've got one that way. So, folding on your score lines. Now, these don't have to be majorly burnished, because you just want them to bend nicely. These 2 triangle corners, I want to bend them up. Now, the reason I've not cut them off is because I want them to just have a nice edge at the bottom. I don't want it to be a raw edge. So that's why I've made that little piece just a bit, left that little piece on, so that when you fold it up, you've got a nice neat edge at the bottom of your wallet, pocket, pouch. So fold that up, and there you see you've got a nice clean edge. So that's what you've now got. So like I said, I've used these Galaxy products. You could use Cadbury's or whatever you've got. If you're in America, I'm sure you've got lots of other great items you can pop in. So you can adjust this if you want a smaller or a larger pouch, but it fits 3 things in. But even if you didn't have the 3 things, you could fold this tighter around if you wanted to. Now, to attach my spoon in, I've got my little spoon here, I found it fell out if I didn't tie it to something. So I'm going to tie it to my front bar of chocolate, or these little crispy rolls. You can see what they are. So all I've done is I've taken a piece of lace that I was using. I'm going to pop him on the back there, and I'm going to tie my little spoon to there. I'm just going to tie him on as well. A bit easier. Let me get that round that way. This way then it just stops him sliding out, because his metal is very slippy, and then the recipient can just pull it apart then. So I've got that at the back so that I can twist that around and put that in the direction that I want to, like this, at a bit of an angle when it's inside the pouch. And that's far enough down that you don't see it. So once you've got it exactly how you want it, and whichever way you're going to fold your pouch, this is how you stick it together. So this piece at the bottom is the bit that's going to stop everything falling out. So you need to, on each of these sides, pop tape, and I'm popping red line tape along both of those angles, so along the bottom and along this side piece to there. I'm going to do exactly the same there, along this bottom edge and along the side piece, like that. So that's what I've got, 2 pieces of tape here. Now I'm going to fold mine so that the outer edge is this piece on the left coming over, so that will go in first, then this piece come over. So this edge I'm going to just put here, probably a little 1.5 inch piece of tape there, just like that, on that piece, because that is going to tape down without it bulging. So this piece will come up, and I'm going to use this right hand side first, take off my tape, and I'm going to stick that together like so, bringing it over, being quite firm with it and sticking it down. Now on this one I'm going to take off my tape as I've done with the other side. Now this 1.5 inch piece that I put down, I'm going to take the tape and just fold it back a bit so it's not completely off yet, because I want to get it in position before I do stick that. So make sure you've got your chocolates where you want them. There we go. And I'm going to pull that over. I'm going to stick that nice and level down here and on the side. And then once I've got that nicely in position, this piece that I've tucked up, I'm going to pull it, and then I can stick the rest of it down, and it's perfectly in position with my bars there. That's looking great. Okay. So I've got those in, and then what I might do is I'm going to change that around that way, because I've got multi-pack showing on there, and that doesn't look as good, does it? So I'm going to turn that round. There we go, so it's in. And then it's down to the decoration. So what I've got on mine is, oops, I used some of this snowflake, well, I'm calling it snowball trim. So I'm going to pop a little bit of red line tape along the bottom here, and this allows you to use up all your little fancy bits of ribbon that you've got stashed, or lace that you've got stashed from years ago, and use them on your projects, because it uses a tiny amount, but it does make it look finished off. So there we go, give that a good stick down, and of course using your red line tape is perfect for this, because that will hold that on. Next I have got a piece of ribbon. Let me just get rid of some of these bits out of the side so you're not distracted. So I've got a piece of ribbon. I'm going to tie that around the middle, tying that now, getting that on. So pop that into the middle there, and let's get this tied up. And of course you can make this in any of your lovely Christmas papers, but you could make this as well all year round. You could make it like a little wintry pouch. You could make it, autumn is a great one now for hot chocolates and things. So, or you could change up what you've actually got inside it. That's the other thing. It doesn't have to be hot chocolate. Or you could do, if you are still doing wanting to do the Christmas but do put something different, you could put the little candy canes in instead of hot chocolate. It's entirely up to you. So once you've got your bow how you like it, let's trim that up, make it neater, and then it's down to the decorating. So I've got my favourite, because they just are brilliant for breaking up layers. Little tiny doilies. These are about 4, let me just see so you know what size they are. These are about 3.5 inches across. And honestly, they're great for card making, all sorts. You can just break up your layers by using a doily. And it also acts like as a little cover part as well. So I'm just going to pop some glue on there so that it sticks down. Pop my doily on. There we go. Make sure my ribbon's in the right position. You can see everything. And then I cut from the papers another little layer. This is just a roughly 3-inch circle. So I'm going to pop that one on. Got some foam pads here. Seem to be running a bit low on foam pads, so I'm going to be a little bit thrifty there. Pop my foam pads on. And this will make a little base to put your images on. So there's my circle on there. Got that in position. And I've got some elements from this collection. I've got the poinsettia, the Father Christmas and the bells. Not so keen on seeing that white bit there, so I'm going to trim that off. That's better for me. That's it. I'm going to have those bells tucked behind him like that. So let's pop that on. Tuck that there, I think. Yep, and then that one can go over the top. Oops. Yeah, I think that will work. So let's pop a few bits on top of Father Christmas here to get him stood up a bit more. There we go. And it's just a matter really of layering it up. So let's pop them on. There he goes. And then I've got these poinsettia, and I'm going to pop this across the middle, making spirits bright. So these are all out of the like I say, one of the ephemera packs that came with this collection. But you could just fussy cut some elements out of paper. If you've got one paper pad, you can easily do that with this. Use the designs on the paper pad to suit your topper that you're going to make. And then this one I'm going to pop on there. I've just got enough of this left to use this one, so let's pop these on. And then that should give you a nice finished piece then. Oops. Why is it when you're trying to do something on a video it doesn't come off when you want it to? There we go. There it is, stuck on. Put that across the centre. Right, to finish off now, I've decided I want to pop a little gift tag inside. I think that's quite a nice one. So I'm going to put that inside. And I'm just going to add a little piece of ribbon or lace. I'm going to use this lace, I think. I'm going to pop that through there. Adding that like so, and then I'll just trim that up. And that then gets tucked in the back there, so you can write on the back, and it's another little bit of interest there at the top, what you can see. And I think because it actually is Father Christmas here, and it is Christmas, so it's got to be some glitter, I think, and my glitter glue is also on its last legs, so let's get some of that on there. Put plenty on. Why not? There. And I think perhaps a little bit of red glitter might look pretty on these poinsettias as well. Just to jazz that up, I think. And there we go. What do you think? I think that looks great myself. And very little supplies used. I'll bring in the other ones that I've made. So there was that one. And that one also. And I think they look really cute. And a lovely little present too. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and a like, and if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. I'm going to try and start making some more little gift ideas now for Christmas, boxes, bags and ideas like this. So stick with me and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.